So the next group here is gonna be antidepressants. Now, people react differently to antidepressants. Some people lose weight, some people gain weight. For the sake of this video, we'll cover the people who respond by gaining weight. One thing you have to realize is that antidepressants work on the serotonin. It's a neurotransmitter in your brain, which just means this is the brain chemical. And what that does is it actually regulates your mood, your anxiety, and also your appetite. So maybe you're taking this antidepressant and just like with the birth control, it's causing your appetite to go up and you're not realizing it because it's slightly going up day after day, week after week, and you're starting to just eat more than you were prior to taking that new medication. Again, the medication isn't calories. The medication isn't causing you to gain fat. You have to actually eat the calories in order to gain weight, in order to store fat. But if it's causing you to be more hungry and you're eating more, then of course you're gonna end up gaining weight from it. Antidepressants may cause cravings for things like carbohydrates, sugary foods. Every gram of carbohydrates that you take in creates a certain amount of water and fluid retention within your muscles, okay? So if you're eating more carbohydrates, you're gonna be holding more water. So be mindful of your carbohydrate intake. Try not to have the bread, the pasta, more rice, and eat a lot more of that because that's undoubtedly gonna cause you to gain weight and hold more fluid in the long run. Be mindful, track your food, follow a healthy diet, and just be aware of these things. One thing about depression is that it causes some people to eat more, it causes some people to have no appetite at all. Sometimes when I'm depressed, I don't want to eat at all. Other times, I just want to eat some ice cream and wallow in my sorrows, right? Like everybody responds a little bit differently to the depression. You can imagine if you're somebody who's depressed, you lose your appetite, you're not eating, you're sad, and then you get on a antidepressant and that restores your natural happiness. Well, that's also gonna restore your normal appetite, causing you to eat more. So you're getting in more calories because you're eating what you were before because you're happy, right? You feel good, you're feeling a lot better, the chemicals in your brain are being restored, so your appetite is going back to what it was prior to being depressed. Now, another thing with depression is that it can cause you to be just fatigued. How many people have been depressed and they just have no energy? Like they just don't want to do anything, they want to sleep all day. It causes inactivity, it's going to cause you to skip the gym. So of course, if you're somebody who's going on a run, going to the gym, you're active, and then you get depressed, now you don't feel like doing any of those things. So now you're not burning those calories that you would have when you weren't depressed. So just to recap, these medications don't cause you to gain weight, but it can make you more prone to gain weight if you fall into the traps that it can create. If any of these medications cause you to be more hungry and you eat a lot more food, of course you're gonna gain more weight. A lot of the weight that you do gain from either one of these is gonna be from water retention, not fat. But you can absolutely gain more fat if you continue to overeat. The biggest thing here is gonna be tracking your food. Mentally being able to understand that, okay, I'm taking this medication, it's helping me in this area, but now it's making me hungry. And you need to be mindful of that and make sure that you're not overeating on the carbohydrates, not falling into the cravings for the sweets and the sugary stuff and the snacks. If you're somebody who took in the same amount of calories before you start taking the medication to when you're on the medication, you're not gonna gain any fat. If it's making you more hungry but you're not falling into that trap, well, you're not gonna gain any extra fat. But you still can definitely gain weight from holding additional fluids because you're getting more estrogen. It causes you to retain fluids more. So if you're taking in more sodium, if you're taking in more carbohydrates, you're gonna hold on to more fluids. So just be more mindful of that. Relax, knowing that the medication isn't causing you to gain weight, but it does make you more prone to gain it if you eat more food. If you give into the cravings for the carbohydrates, for the sugary foods, for all the snacks and all that stuff. The big takeaway from this, ladies, is don't be afraid to take birth control. Don't be afraid to take antidepressants or these medications that are known to cause weight gain, because they're not causing weight gain. It's just causing you to be more prone to gain weight if you fall for some of these traps that it lays out for you. But if you're mindful, if you're tracking what you're eating, if you're keeping your calories in check, you're not giving into your cravings, you're not gonna have a problem.